If you are feeling inspired and want to have your own duplex to purchase as an investment property or to house hack, now is your chance. Behind me is one of Gilbert's duplexes here in South Houston. He's going to be selling that property, and this is your chance to get an income-producing property, bring in income day one. This is a quality built duplex. No corners were cut on this to maximize profits. It is a well-built, high-quality, meant to last, built with your family or your tenants in mind to have a quality living experience. Information will be in the description, so check that out. Feel free to give us a call if you have any questions, and enjoy the second half of the episode.
All right. Well, this is a super pod episode because we just recorded. We had Ashley and Ayana in here, and we got some really real conversation about duplexes and the reality of being a duplex owner and all the things and where they're going in the future. So we brought in Mr. Onaje Barnes.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Man, we've been playing around.
We've been playing around. We had you on the schedule, and then we had some scheduling conflicts. I'm glad we got it.
We here now. Yeah,
right across the street from the spot too. So it makes sense.
Hey, I told you I'm easy to find.
Yeah. So just for the folks that are watching online, we're in Third Ward right now, and in a podcast studio, and Onaje has a apartment complex.
Yep, apartment complex. Turned boutique hotel called The Escape. We pretty much do short, mid-term rentals, some long-term rentals. I tell people all the time, look, I rent property. That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you do Section 8, you do this. I rent houses. It's not too many places that we haven't done.
Yeah.
But that property is, literally across the street, right on Emancipation.
Yeah. Okay. And so I love that I got both of you guys. I know y'all are good friends and work together. I don't know if have y'all invested together as well. Y'all do deals together?
We just help each other out.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think y'all both have a really high level of expertise in the fields that you do. So I think we're really gonna round out this episode and really kind of get into some higher level conversations for folks who maybe have a little bit more experience. Because I think I want to speak to people who are at different levels of their investing journey, right? And I think a lot of times we speak to the newbies, the first time home buyers, but we don't really speak to the people who have been in the game, right? Yep. And so to kick it off, Onaje, like hearing where Ashley and Ayana were at, like what was your perspective on that as an expert and kind of where you think you see them going?
Yeah, I mentioned to them, I said, look, the hardest part about real estate is actually doing the first deal, buying your first property, whatever that is, right? Particularly people that are black, right? 43% of us own homes, right? So it's more likely that you actually know someone that doesn't own a home than that does. So that's the first step, right? The second step is probably like just keeping with it, learning how to. You're a homeowner. Be a homeowner. Yes, you have to take care of things, right? Yeah. And that's like part of it. That is the responsibility. That's the trade-off of the win, right? And then the next step is just understanding if you choose, hey, knowing when that you can scale, knowing that you can scale, knowing that grandma was right when she told you not to get a second loan, but she was also right because she didn't know that, hey, 85% of small business uses home equity to start a business, right? Yes. So don't go out here and just get second loans to get them, but have intention, right? And it was awesome hearing them because they clearly gonna have intention, and they're at a level where they can now scale and move forward.
Yeah. Okay. So both of y'all and Gilbert, you can take this first question. Y'all both share so much information online. Like sometimes I feel bad getting y'all give away all the good stuff. I should be paying them right now for this information. Like why do y'all share so much information about investing?
Well, I'll be very transparent. The reason why I share is because I know where I invest, right? And I know a lot of interest is there and a lot of new investors are coming in, right? And so we have a shared upside, right? So I want everyone else that's investing where I invest to do well. Yeah. Because if they're doing well and I'm doing well, what's that saying? Rising tides carry all boats, right? So if everyone is doing well, it's a better outcome for everyone. So we're so much more involved than just a transaction, right? We want people to do well on their journey, like the Ashleys and the Ayanas, because, as they do well in these same communities we invest in it, it's going to be a better outcome for us. Yeah. We think long term.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I got story after story on why I do this. Number one, I'm good, bro. So this whole idea of there's so much deals to be had. I can't do all the deals. So I'd rather my homeboy or my homegirl be able to do the deal. Prime example, my escape property across the street. I was the first one to kind of come in that area on that side of Emancipation to remodel a property. Within 6 months, Another fourplex got done. 3 fourplexes have gotten redone. One of my students did a 5-unit right down the block. So now the whole area is actually looking better.
Yep.
I didn't have the capital at the time to do those 14, 15 units on the other block to do those. I knew they were deals because I just did mine, right? But now I've got other people coming in, bringing up the neighborhood, because I brought up the neighborhood. What does that actually happen to my property value? I get wealthier.
There you go.
So that's a win, right? I want Gilbert to do well. We're not really even in the same space. Because guess what? I might raise capital one day. I might want to take down a 150-unit a complex. I need other dudes to have some money, y'all.
Exactly.
That, like, you know what I mean? Like, I need, like, I can't have all the money. Like, so I need other people to have the money, and I ain't got to worry about, I know he got the money.
Exactly.
Why? Because he got some property. He's doing some things. So
Yeah.
that's a win for all of us.
Right.
And for me, not to be funny, I know, same with Gilbert, we got a lot of game. So it ain't, the stuff I'm giving out really...
It's just tidbits.
Yeah. Like, and that's not trying to be. That's 18 years in the game, you know. So I'm not tripping about what I'm giving you. Like, if I give you something that can help you get to where we need to get to, that's a different. That's a win for me.
Okay, I love that. Yeah. So I know Gilbert's background. We talked about that in the previous episode, and we'll have that link so folks can go watch that. We don't got time to go into that today, but we don't know your origin story. So quickly kind of tell us how you got to where you're at, where you're commercial and in investing and stuff.
Yeah. So, look, I'm from Houston, 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas, Jack Yates High School. Single mom, 4 kids. Okay? We ain't had no money.
Yeah.
But I had a brain, and she gave me that.
Yeah.
I graduated number 2 in my class at Yates. Went on to UT Austin, majored in economics. Originally engineering, but majored in economics. So I love money. I did the corporate thing like everybody else.
Yeah.
Of course.
And, spent a couple years in corporate. And then the whole division got bought out by another company. 26,000 people laid off nationwide. Now, because of my age, because I had some things going on, I got other job offers. But I picked up that book. Everybody know that Rich Dad Poor Dad book.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
right. And so I got hooked. I had an older frat brother that gave me some game. He owned a couple fourplexes in Austin. So I was like, okay, let me get on this real estate thing. Bought my first property with a NACA loan, 0 down. Bought a foreclosure in 2008. Bought a crappy house. So I'm a rehab guy, right? So I rehabbed the ugly home. I didn't build from the ground up.
Yeah.
Rehabbed it. 6 months later, I got $80,000 worth of equity. With that equity, the bank was allowed me to give $40,000 out of that from cash out refi.
Okay.
I did a rate and term refi. Did what they call a burst strategy. Fell into that. Didn't know what it was.
Okay.
Well, got $40,000 in my pocket. What did I do with that? It was foreclosure time in 2008.
Yeah.
So I bought a rental in Herm Clark, older home. Bought a rental, put some sweat equity. I ain't had no money. Home Depot credit card, sweat equity for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I got a $900 a month rental on a
that's
$290
beautiful.
mortgage.
Beautiful. So you have those hands-on skills. That's some of the stuff that comes into play with investors, especially in the beginning. I mean, he's saying he basically executed burst strategy, and he was the one, and I don't know if he had friends
26.
or anyone else.
And I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And again, and look, once you get $900, and again, that same property now is rented for $1,800, but at the time it was $900, $290 mortgage. I'm pocketing some cash that's higher than the car note. I'm hollering at my boys, and I got an $1,100 mortgage on myself, right? So, like, this is winning. I still got a job. My wife got a job. And I'm like, okay, this is something.
Yep.
Like, okay, we got something here.
Yeah.
So, at that point, I'm just educating myself. I'm networking with people, educating myself, finding every way I can scratch whatever, get a bonus at a job, save that money, put a 20% down. Okay, but again, 20% down back then was a little bit smaller numbers.
Yeah.
But burn it. Bought property off a credit card. I've hustled my way as far as finding ways to buy property. And then
and so talk about like when you made the big jump. So I kind of see your progression. You were kind of doing the takedowns for the rehabs
once a year.
Okay, once a year, and then you had enough equity with your whole portfolio to go boom.
So actually, because I was buying so well, going direct to seller, wholesaler type moves, right? I've never bought anything retail. Real clear, right? I buy on discount. So I had 2 properties that I bought on a credit card because they were so cheap. I got those for like 16 grand a piece, which is like ridiculous, right? Had them paid off, had Section 8 tenants, chilling. I'm big chilling, right? I'm bringing in I'm chilling at this point. Cash flow, right? Hurricane Harvey hits me, flooded out both of these suckers. I didn't have insurance because I was self-insuring. Right. So my game's hard knocks. So I tell you what, do real quick. So I'm self-insured because I got paid off property.
You don't have to have insurance.
I ain't have to legally, right? So I'm self-insured. Get hit by Hurricane Harvey. That hit me in the throat. Right. They paid off. Had some credit card. Had some cash. We were lucky enough. My tenants had to go. One of the tenants actually lived in the George R. Brown.
Oh wow, yeah, during the
the whole area got flooded out. Like, and this was not a well-to-do area. So I'm proud to say that we was able to rehab both those homes within 30 days and get our tenants back. Okay, and I got the same tenants back, and one of them is still with me. Wow, and that's a long time ago.
And if you guys remember during Harvey, I mean that was devastating.
Now I'm gonna bring this home because it's long-winded, but I give it a game, right? So what that taught me was. And some of my other coaches that don't look like me also was saying this, but I didn't believe it at the time. Real estate is not necessarily the best place to park equity and to park wealth. It's a wealth creating tool.
It's a tool.
It's a high equity tool, right? But it may not be the best place to have a significant amount of your wealth in because it's illiquid. Right? Hurricane Harvey taught me that. You think a bank's about to give me a loan right then?
No.
They're not. Right? So what I did was fix it back up, get it back operating. Year later, as fast and as soon as I could, got me a cash out refinance. Bought those for 16 a piece. They gave me 200. Okay, y'all can do whatever math you want to do to that.
I did that quick math. So if you bought them for 16 a piece, you did the sweat equity after Harvey a year, and they gave you 200K. That's nasty. I mean, and that's including, obviously they didn't give me the full equity amount or whatever. So these properties were worth a significant amount of money comparatively to what I bought them for. Right. So got 200K. And really what I was really on, I was chasing the freedom. I've always been chasing freedom. And I was saying to myself, okay, I'm buying one a year. I'm doing well. Obviously, I'm doing well with it. How do I get more quicker? You're a realtor. How many deals are really out on the MLS in any given time? Like real cold-ass deals?
Not very many.
Right. So I figured, well, why is that? Because everybody playing with FHA. Everybody's playing with 1 through 4. Commercial real estate is 5 and above.
5 and up.
These are different rules. These are tougher rules. Okay, and these are not easy rules to play with. But I was able to find a wholesale deal. Bought my first 21 unit complex at $53,000 a door. Do that math.
That's good. That's 2 duplexes today.
Do that math. Okay.
How scary was that to make that jump? Were you terrified?
I got the gray hair to prove it. Okay.
You spitting these numbers out. I'm like, dang, man, that's a big jump. I mean,
no, I'm shooting shots. Let me be real clear. I'm shooting threes. Okay, I'm shooting big time shots, right? And it's scary. And guess what? And I tell people all the time, Steph Curry is the best 3-point shooter of all time. Okay, guess what? He's missing 6 out of 10. Every time. So it's scary. It was very scary for me. I had a lot of rehab experience. I'm a great negotiator with contractors, things of that nature. But I was going from 9 to 30 now. That's not the same.
No.
There's management changes, software. I got to use software. I ain't picking up cash no more. I can't do a lot of. We're not taking Zelle, bro. Why we not even taking bookkeeping? I can't even take Zelle. Everybody's sending in the same $1,000. Who paid what?
Exactly.
So there was a lot more that I had to learn. But I also like to tell that story to let people know that it's possible with the right moves, and also understand. You asked me, did I take out my whole portfolio? I did not. What did I tell you? 2.
The 2 houses,
out of 9.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Got me to 30.
Yeah.
Then they asked me how I got to 50, right? That's cash flow. If you're making money on property and you can pay your rent. Everybody heard online, it's the DSCR loan. Everybody hear about DSCR, everybody, that's the new buzzword, right? DSCR loan. Here's a trick. It's all commercial real estate. Why is it called DSCR loan? Because it's a business loan. right? Why is it a business loan? Because you make money. So can you cover can you service debt service coverage ratio? What does that mean? We are servicing the debt.
Yeah.
That's what the lenders care about. They want to make their 6%.
Yep.
They in it to make their 6%.
Yeah.
I need you to make sure that I pay my 6%.
Yeah.
Can you prove it? How? Well, I got some rent that's going to cover this mortgage by 25%. That's why you'll see most loans you talk to with debt service ratios.
So something that both y'all have in common, y'all are still working W-2s, right? Are you still working a W-2?
Absolutely.
You still working a W-2? So
Absolutely.
did that give y'all a fallback to make some of these like aggressive moves?
Of course it gives you a fallback. And I mean, just like we were talking in that earlier conversation, I get a little frustrated when I see a lot of the, just how people try to crap on having a job and W-2s. And people don't understand, like, some of the highest performers I know, highest net worths locally that I really know in real life in Houston, they have W-2 income. People. I mean, it's a great leverage, right? It's a great tool to use, and it just helps you tremendously. My wife and I both, to this day, we have W-2 jobs, and both of our employers know what we do. They also know we're in the real estate business. They also know that, you know, we love equity now. That's a lesson also that I learned from my youth at my other W-2 jobs. I didn't take equity positions in the companies I worked at, but now that's changed. Company where I work now have equity in the company, right? You know, that was something I learned from the past. So, you know, that's a great learning ground. Your job is where you learn more and more about business. And, you know, I know Onaje works, I think, a Fortune 100.
So, we didn't talk about them, but I work in a Fortune 100 company as well. And look, we have to understand, number one, we're all here to make more money. So, like, if you're making some money, the whole goal is to make more money.
Make more.
Right? Like, you got to add more, right? So, like, let's not crap on what and that company likely taught you some skills for you to be able to get into the position to go buy some rental property. Right? So, how about, like, what else can they learn you? Right? And can you go to work? Because most of us, I talk about this a lot, most of us go to a job and they're kind of like pissed off and they get into real estate because I'm like, man, I'm tired of this boss and this boss getting on my nerves and this corporate mess is getting on my nerves. It actually gets easier when you feel freer and safer, right? Meaning, like, I got some cash. If y'all let me go, it'll be all right. Like, it'll be all right. But I still want that check, though.
Of course.
You know.
And does that help with the loan, like the DSCR? I mean, like, does that help?
I'm stronger that way, right? And so, like, one of the misnomers that I hate people talking about online is about LLCs, and you can buy real estate with LLCs. Like, the people who are saying that aren't really doing this in real life, right? You need a personal financial statement. Every real bank that's like giving you commercial loans is going to want to know a personal financial statement. They want to know
once a year too. Every year they want it updated. They don't care who you are. Once a year they want it.
It don't matter what your name is. And so I'm stronger because I have not just equity and properties, but I'm stronger because I have stronger cash flow. Like, they're not. I'm not living just off of my rent. My rent is going back into the business. So my business looks stronger. So long story short, I tell people real quickly, however long you want that W-2, they're your partner. Look at them as an unwilling partner. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, okay, maybe it ain't their business if the money that they're paying you is using to embetter yourself, right? They not promising you to be rich. They're not promising you to retire. Okay, let's just keep this transaction simple. Time for money. That's it. That's all we doing, bro. And some of y'all jobs have a time frame on it. Some of mine don't really have a time frame, but meaning like 40 hours. That's what you get. Maybe 50. Right, but what is that?
Right. That's so good, man. So let me ask you guys this, right? So, you know, everybody isn't blessed to have the 6-figure job, right? And so, I was texting Gilbert. I've got a profile of people that everybody's situation is a little bit different, but this is the almost exact lead that we've been getting from our podcast, Duplex content. Is somebody who makes anywhere between 70 to 80K, which is a livable wage in Houston. I mean, if you got a small family, you're single, that's a livable wage. So we're not talking about somebody who's poor. This is, they got a little bit of money, they can get a nice car, nice place. maybe they have 50 to 60K in savings. So I've been running into quite a few younger kids that are, living with their parents still or living with a family member. So they're able to save a little bit more money. So these are, they're smart with their money, right? Low debt. So college is paid off. Or there's low student loans, or they got a car that they paid off, and they're getting pre-qualified for around 250, 300. And a lot of that's just based off their income, right? The income and then the interest rate, they're in that 300K number. So, I've been trying to get creative with these folks, right? Because I'm getting a lot of them. And the reason they're attracted to house hacking specifically is because they can get that tenant to kind of help offset some of that cost, right? Because they're making enough to be comfortable, but they're not making enough, to like, hey, when we start talking about investments, right? That's where it starts getting tight. So what would be y'all's thoughts on how that person could get started? Like, do you tell them to go ahead and take the risk, or is there a different strategy?
I'm about to blow your business up right quick.
on what you actually did, right? Are you going there?
Yeah. Well, I'm about to blow your business up right quick.
Gonna go there.
So number one, all that stats are way better than what I started with. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, now we're gonna give some game time, right?
Okay.
What's house hacking?
Living in one unit and renting the other units.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. It's Golden Girls too. You ever watch Golden Girls, the show?
Mike,
I have not one.
Okay, my bad. House hacking is you having an underlying mortgage for a property that you have and having other tenants help you pay it off. Now, why did I say wrong? Because when you said units, you automatically went to a duplex or triplex, fourplex. I said just having somebody offset. So we can go old school. Get a damn roommate, okay? Like, go get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house if you can't afford the duplex. That's number one. But get in the game of property.
Yes.
Okay? If you buy yourself, I know a lot of your clients might be some of these nurses that buy themselves. I know that all the time. I talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
Like, go buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house and go rent a room out to another traveling nurse.
Exactly.
Go rent it to someone that's in your... And guess what? Here's the thing about people don't tell you about being a landlord. I actually get to choose who I live with or live in my property. Like, don't get it twisted, right? Like, there's
random.
There's HUD laws,
Yeah.
but you can absolutely market to who you want to market to, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm a single dude that like to go out. We'll go rent to another single dude that like to go out,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm a nurse. Okay, go rent to another nurse, right?
Yeah.
Like, go market to them. And because the game is not buying a specific type of property. The game is having more financial freedom. You can go that two ways. You can make more money, or you can reduce your living expenses.
Expense. Yep.
And that's what house hacking. And I know you know it, but I want to just like differently, right? Like, you can go rent. I've given that advice to several people. A lot of people. I got several friends of mine. My baby god sister, she's a teacher, so she makes less than that number you just said. She has saved less than that number you just said. She bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath right during COVID, right around that time. So it wasn't super cheap, whatever. She rented out both rooms to her college room. Her college, she rented one to a college roommate.
Yeah. Yeah, which I mean, you've Gilbert, you've made some posts. We had a tragic incident maybe 3 months ago about the situation where somebody's renting out and the roommate killed.
Renting by room.
So I mean, talk about some of the tips you put on social media for people who don't follow you to help people who maybe go that route.
If you do decide to rent by the room, number one, it's very important that you get the right type of insurance, right? You have to have the right liability insurance in place. You have to be open with your lender about what you're doing, right? So they know, in your insurance company as well. And then property management, vetting. You have to understand, it's exactly what Onaje just said. Single dude, like to go out a lot. Keep it kind of the same. Single dude, like to go out a lot. Keep people the same. I think in that tragic incident, it was a young 20, 21-year-old student with a 40-year-old dude, with a record of violence. Like, how in the world you would put those two together in the same space? It just shouldn't happen.
That landlord out of business, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely out of business. And the family filed a lawsuit just recently, and it's going to end. It's going to end with a judgment, right, against the 100%. Property management company, likely against the owners, likely, because that was something that just shouldn't have happened. Obviously, you can't control what happens at some of your properties, but you have to take the right steps to protect yourself.
You got to control yourself. What you
absolutely.
control.
Yeah. And I think something that I learned from Ashley and Anaya is they're making sacrifices right now.
Oh, that's a big part of it.
I mean, and that's the undertone of what I heard is like they weren't flexing on us at all. They were like, "Hey, we're working right now, right?" Yeah. So I think I run into a lot of folks who they want a quality of life, and that's why the house hack can sometimes get confusing because they're like, "Oh, I'm house hacking, so I'm living there, so I want kind of my own quality of life." They also want it to be a business, and so I think I always challenge people like, "Hey, you got to decide, hey, what is this?"
Right.
But what you say quality of life, right? That's a definition that we all have differently, right?
Yeah.
So because you know what she is getting, you said, "Oh, they're sacrificing." It's a trade off. Let's not use the word sacrifice because you know what she is getting: more financial freedom, less gray hair because my bills are getting paid, housing stability, which is a real thing, right? Like you know, the ability to say, "Hey, I got laid off," or "Hey, I got an extra job," or just, man, hold on. Like if my contribution is like $700-800, and everybody else's contribution is $1,800.
Yeah,
that's real. Those are real numbers. That's real numbers.
That's a win.
Yeah, it is absolutely. Yeah.
So I think for me, it's like, because I talk to so many newbies that like want to get in the game, but I don't want to sacrifice, and I want this quality of life, whatever. No, you need to change your mindset about how you want to live.
Right.
Like, okay, do you want to live for flossing and fronting and capping and all of that?
Yeah.
Right? Or do you want to be able to have some money in your bank account?
Yeah.
Be able to like chill and, you know, not stress this month. Oh, maybe my hours didn't come in. Like,
yeah. Okay. And that's in the best case scenario, and a worst case scenario, you know, like they said, I mean, sometimes you get a bad tenant or something, but you should have a good game plan. If you have a good business model, you should have a game plan for that. Yeah.
And I think if you heard Ashley talk, she said the P word a lot, and I was like, man, she's got it. Ayana has it too. Pivot. Knowing how to pivot and change things and move around. I think, Mike, that's also an issue in today's society and how we see things. Like, everybody, it seems like they want to compare outcomes. I want to compare myself to Onaje's outcome or Mike's outcome, but what we don't compare and what we don't get to see is the process. You know, he talked about that today on the podcast episode, right? Ayana and Ashley, they talked about the process, and that's what people don't understand is that, man, that process and the output creates the outcomes.
Yeah.
So we can't just look at the finish line. We got to start at the blocks and even before the blocks and see, you know, what people had to do and what the process or what they had to learn. You know, so much of this is learning. I know Onaje is going to talk about that.
You already know I'm about to go there.
You know?
Right? Yeah. It is one, as a people, we have to get better at saying, like, hey, can you help me, or asking for help, right? Too much are we trying to do our own game by ourselves, right? Like the game of life, like you need teammates. Like like in football, it's 11 on 11, right? You need teammates. Basketball, just 5, right? Real estate is not tennis. This is not a solo sport, right? If you're going about it solo, again, I made all of these mistakes. So if you're going at it solo, it's gonna take a longer time, right?
So that's okay.
And that's okay, but also just being able to call somebody. Me and him talk. We probably texting back and forth several times a day about all kind of random stuff or whatever. I know stuff, he knows stuff. And guess I brag all the time. People are like, well, don't you build? Would you want to build? I said, I don't need to learn how to build. I got a homeboy that know how to build. Like I don't need to. Like I like, and again, I'm like, and I own land. Like I have land that I'm just sitting on this high equity land at this point. When you gonna build on? Whenever I feel like it. I got this homeboy that I can just call. You know, so I think that's super important. Being able to have a way to pivot.
Yeah. Something I wanted to ask you about and I forgot. I just looked at my notes, remembered. So you talked about use NACA.
Did.
Like, what do you think about that? I mean, I know those programs sometimes have restrictions that kind of limit you in terms of how you can move with them. So, like, what are your thoughts on those?
I think NACA is the best loan in America. They don't pay me. Okay, so let me, and I'll break it down. The game of real estate is trying to get into a better situation financially for as cheap as possible. Okay, NACA has 0% down loan. The sister earlier said she was going to get a VA loan because it's 0 down. VA loan is the best loan in America. Right, second best loan in America is likely NACA. Now, NACA does have restrictions, right? But it's all about sacrifices. Yeah, you got to take some programs and some classes or whatever, and it's going to absolutely take a longer period of time to close, 100%. However, it's free money. They got 0% down, no closing costs, 1% below market interest rate. And they have a 203K loan option, which means in my case is what I use. They gave me $30,000 to renovate this old 1960 house.
I've been talking about that program. Yeah.
So that's huge. I just told you 6 months into it, at 26 years old, I had $80,000 in equity. So I just used the tools available to. So NACA's a tool. I tell people go find the best tool for them in their situation.
Right.
So this is a VA. Go use your VA loan, 100%. Right. So use the FHA. Use the FHA 203K if you understand what. Like that's a renovation loan. They give you the money to renovate.
Yeah.
Right.
So Gilbert, you talk about you've been actually, I don't know, critical or but you recommend people putting more equity into the deals initially, right?
Well,
so,
I say this if you can, like that's why I advocate if you're going to buy a new duplex, and if you can, the best process to do it is to build it from the ground up.
Okay,
or to find a burb property that's a duplex to renovate, because ultimately you don't want to chase equity. You want to start. You know, obviously you can put sweat equity into it, but you want to start in a good equity position because it just leaves you more flexible, leaves you more open to use your property as you see fit. You know, now even in Houston, you guys are all aware. I know Onaje is aware that, you know, we have STR regulations coming down the pipe. So that's going to kind of even dramatically change how people can use some of the FHA properties. You know, once you have to put pen to paper and say, hey, this is how I'm using my property, it's going to change things.
Leaving a legal paper trail.
Yes, paper trail. That's the difference. A lot of people are minimizing what I've been saying, but they don't understand you're creating a paper trail.
Can I piggyback? Because I want to, Gilbert, I want to almost ask him a question, right? So he said multiple times on this podcast, on the previous one, you really want to build. I don't think people are clicking on what he's telling, okay? I live in a different space on renovation, right? We're doing the same thing. We're forcing equity into a property. We're adding value into the property or land in that matter, right? Real estate, the game of real estate, yes, the buy and hold and wait. I'm a buy and hold investor. It's awesome. The equity will build over time. Great. Check. Awesome. Right? But like the real game is buying properties on discount and or forcing equity.
Forcing the equity.
Right? Yep. Forcing equity is renovation, home, you know, or like whatever. But also renovation is development, right? Like developing a land to make it more valuable is the play. Now, if you're buying it retail, you're really not doing that,
You're not
right?
an investor
Like
at that point.
Yeah, like now, awesome, go do it, right? But if you can get to the point, if you really like real estate, go find a way to force equity. And there's a lot of ways to force equity, right? Her play on the group home.
Yep.
Here's what's funny. That's also forcing equity.
It absolutely
because
is.
her income increases, and there's going to be a bank out there that gives her a higher valuation because
Based on the income
because
she
of the
can show.
income.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to force equity.
Yeah.
But I like to really talk
equity.
about forcing equity.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And it
However
makes
you
it
do
more likely for you to be able to scale when you have equity. It's tough to be in a position where you have 0 to 5% equity. I mean, you know, what money or what tools are you going to use to get into the next?
Right.
You know,
and for those who don't know, when we say equity, we mean cash. Like, I mean, that's your cash position in your property.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I mean, even in today's time, it's a lot more doable than people think to, you know, just get with a good GC, get with a good lender. If you guys don't have them, we have those resources.
Yeah, we got all the
have
resources
all those
right
resources for you. Najee is going to talk more about, you know, the group that he has coming. It's going to be great, but we have all these tools for you here, disposable. You know, like he said earlier, I can't get all the money. I can't keep all the properties for myself, right?
Yeah.
So do you want the $100,000 in equity, or do you want to give it to me, a builder and a realtor and somebody else? That's basically what I'm telling you. You know, do you want the $100,000, or you want to just give it to me? It's up to you. I mean, I'll sell you a build to sell duplex all day, but look, build it from the ground up. Do the BRRRR strategy. That's how you scale your net worth number. That's how you scale your real estate business.
So could you, because I mean, obviously, building does take a lot more cash up front.
Not really.
I mean, we're talking about land costs.
No,
we're talking about GC costs.
No.
Okay.
No. No. Knowledge costs, right? But knowledge is power. So again, look, I'm an owner, founder of Wealth Masterminds Academy. What we do, and I ain't trying to pitch, but I'm just letting people know, what we do is we are a network of like-minded, like-looking investors that, you know what, we just giving our game. We're helping each other, right? We have classes that cost it, but we give a lot of information.
A lot of information.
Me and Gilbert actually met online randomly on Clubhouse. I found out he was in Houston. We kind of knew a lot of the same people, and I invited him into our private group, and there's really not a question we can't ask.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Like, and I don't mean that to cap, like, just because I'm not the richest one. He's not the richest one. There's people that were way more wealthy than us in the group, or whatever.
I'm not the richest one by no means.
So
don't
like,
even say me and rich in the same
sentence.
I'm not rich.
No. So the reason why I said no, it's not. I corrected you so quickly because there are strategies to acquire property land on discount. Land is the easiest thing to go grab on discount, and then you can go buy that with little to no money down with certain types of strategies like, you know, seller financing, credit cards, whatever. Like, there's lots of strategies to go buy that land for nothing. Or I won't say nothing, but not raw cash, right? So I'm giving you the play right now. So there's lots of ways to do that. If you buy on discount, right? And we buy everything on discount one way or the other. Like he's selling stuff at retail, but he's not buying it. He's buying the stuff on discount, right? Yeah. When you buy stuff on discount, that land's going to have extra equity. You go to certain types of banks that specialize in building, right?
Absolutely.
And you can use the equity of that land to actually finance the initial draw request, right?
Right.
Of what you need. Now, where do you get the capital for the draw request? That's when you're like, hey, there's extra money, whatever. That number could get as low as whatever you thought your down payment was.
So Mike, how you said you need more cash, like you'll see these commercials, buy this duplex for just $20,000 down, build the duplex for just $20,000.
So what you need to do
keep the equity. You have a loan and you're going to pay a revolving fee against the money you borrow, but you're going to be in a better equity position, and that's what we're preaching.
Or if you are in these ladies' cases, and likely yours, go get the HELOC. This is a revolving line of credit.
Right.
Okay, the bank is saying we'll finance 90%, 80%, whatever that bill is, right?
Yeah.
So you got the 20 now and from your HELOC. Okay, all you got to do is show that cash. Here's a hint: put it in your bank account 3 months before you go holler at them.
Yes, sir.
That's a whole trick move. Okay, and there's nothing illegal about that.
Yeah.
Right? Just go put the cash in there.
3 bank statements. They want to see.
They only want to see 3 bank statements. Most of them is 2, right? But it's really 3 bank statements. That's what they do. Now you got your cash. Okay. They say, okay, well, you got to go start whatever the replatting process, and that costs whatever Gil was going to tell you to do, right? He's the expert in that, right? I'm not the expert in that. I just tell you how to go do money. Okay, so you do that. Okay, $5,000 for this, $5,000 for that. Then you get your draw request, like, or you put your plumbing down, or whatever that is. That costs $10,000. You go tell them, bring the inspector out. They come out. They give you your money back. They give because that's your draw request. They give you $10,000. Now you replenish your line of credit, and then you just keep working it.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
And if you have a great builder too, one of the things a builder can contribute to you that's just mind-boggling is they can build it fast, and you're only paying interest for what 3 to 7, 8 months.
Get with a real
tops.
builder that know what they doing, that might have some history building a whole lot of duplexes in Houston. You know,
and then,
then
there you are, Mike. People are running these plays in real life. A guy just bought a retail duplex from Donovan just like 4 months ago, and he's smart, sharp young guy. He and his wife, great people. Guess what? He's buying a land. He's under contract to buy land, highest best use. He's going to put like 3 to 7 doors on there, something like that. And so that's the start of it, man. When you start to really
and if you think I'm capping, right? We know a person that's on our private text that has built, I don't know where he's built, 8 or 9 now.
Absolutely.
All through the play I just explained. That's how I know it. Like I don't do that play.
Absolutely.
I know it because I know exactly what he's done in the last 14 years. And he came from a similar background. Well, he had, he ain't had no money. You know, so
facts.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So people get afraid of building a lot of times or doing the Burr method, but that's how that's where the equity lies, you know. Don't get me wrong, it's great to, sometimes you're going to have to go the retail route. I understand that. And it brings me back to the point we said earlier too. If you absolutely buy a retail duplex or a retail whatever it is, investment product, I think it's highly recommended that it's somewhat stabilized, right? It's tough to go into, let me buy this $400,000 or $500,000, $600,000 duplex that's completely empty, no furniture, no tenants, no nothing, and then maybe even no gate. And I'm seeing a lot of people do this after they spend all this money. Now they got to buy a gate. Now they got to put furniture in there. Now they got to list it and lease it and hope for a tenant that can qualify for $2,200, $2,300. there's a lot of stuff they skipped and they just didn't realize. And so
absolutely.
that's where we
get the monkey off your back early, right?
Get the monkey off your back so you can scale and really move.
Or just like you spending a lot of money to close on this thing.
Yep.
And you want to minimize the amount of money you spend. Like, look, I said minimize the amount of money to get in. Actually, the real thing is minimize the amount of money it takes from you from point A of starting to cash flow.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Right? Meaning, and whatever that distance is for you, and whatever type of play you're running, right? But you want to reduce that time that you bleed out, paying bills that's not getting paid, ain't got no money coming in.
And that's real because you're burning through the reserves that helped you qualify.
Absolutely.
And once you get into this, you'll realize why you needed those reserves in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, vacancy is a real thing. Having to do certain repairs is a real thing. And Mike, people think it's capped, but literally in the last 3-4 months, we sold to 4 different buyers that purchased our duplexes that were fully furnished and were completely leased. You know what kind of difference that created for them?
Yeah.
You're giving people a turnkey. This dude is handing the game right over to people.
Is it. And it gives you a launch pad to be able to learn, you know, while you're in there. You know, there's a guy, he's like 25, 26 years old. He just bought one of them, the one in the front. His mom bought it, and they're doing this together, you know, and it's a cool thing because they're seeing, oh, now I see why it's so important that we did buy this one that already had tenants in place. Because, Mike, I'm not capping. I've taken calls from literally at least a dozen realtors over the last year that they had clients who bought duplexes. They couldn't find tenants in the first 2, 3, 4 months. They were panicking. One guy out of Florida, he bought a duplex, no tenants for the first 8, 9 months at all. On both sides. So what are we doing?
And let me get to the nitty gritty of that. I hype what he's offering is so huge because what's crazy is, like, let's keep it real. You're offering a product that's already rented out, meaning someone had to rent it out. Someone was managing that property. Someone was
has vetted tenants in there.
Has vetted tenants in there.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not just you out here. Because here's a whole another thing. If you buying something they ain't got no tenants in it, you got to learn how to be a landlord. Like, you have to learn how to go find good tenants and vet them out and things of that nature. So if some of that work has been done for you, and maybe it wasn't perfect, maybe that tenant and you and that tenant don't vibe over time. Guess what? Put the monkey off my back a little bit to where, you know, I can figure some things out. I find me a new tenant that's better than you. Maybe raise some rents, whatever that is. Move to short-term rental, long-term, whatever you want to do.
Right.
You have time because it's hard to think through strategy when you got financial pressure.
Okay.
Very hard.
Man, y'all, this is some really good game. And I think there's a level of like, this is just experience. You got to just get the experience.
Exactly.
So like some of the stuff you can't learn unless somebody
or hang with dudes that know.
So talk about the group. How do you get into the group? Tell me the details.
So it's called Wealth Masterminds Academy. It literally started from an old group me that I had for, I don't know, 15 years ago, with me and my boys to literally just help each other out. Like, man, who you got? What's your plumber name? Oh, I need a whatever, right?
Sheetrock
guy. Painter. I need a lawn.
I got a leak on a Saturday, and you can hit this group, and then the plumber's there like 6 hours later. That's huge in real estate.
Right. And then what's crazy about it is we're pulling resources. So Gilbert kind of know my only rule is I will give you whoever you need to give. Just say OJ referred you. Right, because that helps my prices on the back end, right? Because I'm helping out business, that's whatever. So it started from that, and then COVID, and I just realized like, oh, so many people need more help. Like, we want to spread the wealth. Me and Gilbert are cool because we are passionate about Black generational wealth. Like, that's not a joke for us. So, like, because we good, right? Like, we want that to occur. So basically what the group is called Wealth Masterminds Academy. You can follow Onaje Barnes wherever, find me, blah, blah. I get a lot of freebies. What it is a massive chat, a lot of real experienced type of people. No gatekeeping, less of the social, like half our people. I mean, look, we the only ones on. So I mean, it's only a couple of us on social media.
Even on
that's
social
the thing
media.
people don't realize. There's a lot of people not on social media.
So many people not on social media.
Most people don't
There's
really.
a lot of low key people really killing it in real estate that nobody knows about.
Our people ain't trying to be on social media. Matter of fact, we got the type of people that's like, no, I don't need everybody knowing, because real rich dudes don't want people knowing what they got.
Yeah, people with money, they don't want people knowing they have money.
So but they use me, they use Gilbert, they use some of our other people to like vet people in and we'll whatever. So we have that. And then obviously we have a lot of master classes. I teach a lot of them, and then I bring in coaches like Gilbert, who may not even trying to be a coach.
I got pulled into it. So
I drag them into it. I said, look, man, and I'll host a lot of classes, and I'll bring in experts on. And when I say, and everybody bring in experts, but these are people I do business with.
Okay, absolutely.
Like my insurance guy is my insurance guy.
Right.
You know,
and that's something I'll tell people about this podcast too. We have a similar dynamic of the guests on this show. A lot of the people that I bring on the show are people who I got referred to, I do business with. So I mean, even just within the content we're putting out and the content you guys put out, like people like, hey, I need certain people. Pay attention to who's working together, who's doing podcasts together, right? Who do you see at lunch together?
Mike, that's one of the things I really respect about you as a professional. I never had a chance to tell you this, but I can tell you now. One of the cool things that you've kind of figured out in your young age is that you understand value exchange as a young person. You don't only just call when you need something. You also call when there's opportunity. Right. And that's what I appreciate about guys that think like you. And that's what the group Wealth Masterminds is also about, right? So you understand that. And value exchange leads to opportunities. Like Mike is so valuable and exchange his value with me. Mike's going to enlist one of my duplexes for sale. You know, and you know, that's how business gets done in the real world.
Right. And just helping each other out. Like half the information that we share with each other, I mean, it's no transactional piece to it because it's like, okay, it's going to come back to me. Like, he's definitely know a bunch of stuff that I don't know. Right. And guess what? I actually don't have to learn it. I don't have to spend X amount of hours on YouTube because I know I got a tax guy. My tax guy's better than your tax guy.
Facts.
We're not telling his name, but it's quick. We're not gonna say his name, but it's 100% certainty that he's better than your guy. My insurance guy is 100% better than yours because he is. There's no
I love it.
My lenders are better than yours. And like, why? Well, because they lend to big stuff. Not just my stuff, but these other people that's in the group, they lend to big stuff. So they guess what? Not trying to be funny. They know different types of deals. Right? So, you know, our wholesalers are better than your wholesalers. Why? Because we got buyers and they ain't fooling. You ain't messing with no wholesaler that's fraud.
No.
Like I ain't messing with no wholesaler that's fraud. How do we know? Because we doing deals. So that's the cool part. And it's like, okay, that's the kind of stuff we get that free. That's easy, right? It's the higher level courses that cost stuff. You know, okay, how to buy a multifamily, how to make a boutique hotel. Well, I did that. It's across the street. Okay, all right, cool. That's what you want to be on. Like, all right, we got that.
Exchange your value. Exchange your value.
So we are. And again, I hate to get back to like, you know, people that look like us, but we behind the 8 ball.
We are.
There's a reason why you see other people buying the property in our neighborhood. There's a reason how 90% of my tenants have always said, I've never had a black landlord. Literally, 90% of my tenants always say this all the time. I've never had a black landlord. Wow, there's a reason because everyone else is making money off of us. Right? And they're doing it because they have community. Our good friend, I'll mention him, Kevin Rouse, you know, good friend of ours, PhD, just got his PhD. Congrats. He teaches development at PV. I mentioned him because he was one of the people that really put me on. He's an OG of Houston, and I always gonna give him love because he's OG and he gave me information. And one of the things that always stuck with me is, and he does a lot of he sells a lot of large multifamily, you know, CC, you know, he's on that level, right? So he's known for selling large multifamily in Houston. That's what he's known for. If you at that level, you know his name. Okay, well, cool. He always told me, he's like, look, I done sold deals to Indian people or Asian people that don't look whatever, and it'll be 20 people on the deal, and they never met each other. Why are they doing that? Well, they shooting threes.
But
they also know it's gonna work. To the point where, like, they just want to get in. They just want to be a part of it. They understand the value of what's going on and what we're doing and equity and building wealth. You know, sister got a couple $100,000. They looking for millions.
Man, that's so good. Well, guys, I mean, I really feel like this is one of the most valuable real estate conversations I've ever had personally. So thank y'all for coming on.
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always an opportunity. So appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. So people can get more information. We'll have y'all's links in the bio. So if you want to get connected with the group, remind me, what was the name again?
Wealth Masterminds Academy.
Wealth Masterminds Academy. Follow Houston Duplex. Dude, every single day, dude is putting out gems. So I mean, literally, if you ain't got the bread for the community, follow Follow him on Instagram, YouTube.
We got a free option for the people. Like, we giving our game. We got a free option for the people. Just get in, bro.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, hey, y'all. We'll see y'all on the next episode of the Blueprint Podcast. Peace.